Hello, pre-algebra class. We are going to start Chapter 9, Section 1, Powers and Exponents. If you recall, a power is a number that has an exponent attached to it. And the exponent is a small number. The base is the big number. So if we have 5 to the third power, what that means is, it means 5 times 5 times 5. It does not mean 5 times 3. So 5 to the third power is 5 times 5, which is 25, times 5, which is 125. And that's the answer. It's not 15. It's 125. And that's what we're going to be dealing with, is exponents, powers and exponents. So if we were to evaluate these powers, 4 to the second power means 4 times 4, which is 16. It is not 4 times 2. 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Now we have 2 to the 0 power. You might have learned this in the past, but anything to the 0 power, no matter what it is always going to be 1. And there is an explanation for this, but I will explain that later when we start dividing numbers with exponents on them. But just know that anything to the power of 1, it could be 5,342 to the 0 power is 1. Alright? Now we can write each expression using exponents. So in this case we have 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Let's shorten that up a bit. We can write it as 6 to the 4th power. Now you don't need to solve this. We just need to write it using exponents. Let's try another one. What about negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2? Remember, when parentheses are right next to each other, that means times. So it's going to be negative 2 all together. We can't leave our baby at Walmart, can't leave the negative behind. And we see 3 of them, so it's going to be to the third power. Okay. The next one, we're going to put some different things together, different terms. So it looks like we just have 1, 5. You do not have to write the exponent of 1. You can leave it. You can be lazy if you want to. Times are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 R's. And then 1, 2, 3 S's. So that's how we would write an expression with variables and numbers. You don't have to write the times sign because when they're right next to each other, that means times. Now what about this one? We have a quantity that we're timesing. The quantity is k plus 2. And we have 3 of them. So that whole quantity is taken to the third power. The next concept with exponents is just evaluating. So we have x squared plus y cubed, and we want to evaluate this when x equals 6 and y equals negative 2. So we are going to plug and chug. So x squared is going to be 6 squared plus, we have a negative 2, so I like to put my negative 2 in parentheses just so I don't forget about the negative. And that negative 2 is to the third power. Pause the video and see if you can finish this out using order of operations. So when we solve this, 6 to the second power means 6 times 6. And negative 2 to the third power means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So 6 times 6 is 36. And then negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. And 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8. So we have 36 plus a negative 8 equals 28. So you should have gotten 28 for that one. Let's try another one. We have a quantity, A plus B. Okay, this time we have the quantity, A plus B, and that quantity we're taking to the third power. So let's plug and check. So we have 5 plus a negative 2, that quantity to the third power. Pause the video again and see if you can finish this out and get the correct answer. So now we have 5 plus a negative 2, which is 3, and we have 3 to the third power, which is 3 times 3 times 3. I should specify that we did this first, 5 plus a negative 2. We had to do that first because of order of operations. You have to do what's inside the parentheses first, and then you can do the exponents. So your final answer is going to be 27. And that's all I have for you, I believe. I think that's it. Yep. So we're going to have some classwork tomorrow over 9-1. Come with lots of questions. Email me if you have any questions. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.